Have you ever wondered how the invisible world around us affects our health? Today, we're diving into the microscopic realm of nanoplastics. These are tiny particles of plastic, smaller than the width of a human hair, that are becoming more and more prevalent in our environment, from the water we drink to the air we breathe. Now, you might be thinking, what's the big deal? They're so tiny they can't possibly harm us, right? Well, according to a recent study published in the prestigious New England Journal of Medicine, that may not be the case. This groundbreaking research found a surprising correlation between these minuscule invaders and some serious health events. The study focused on individuals with nanoplastics in their carotid artery tissues. The findings were startling. Those with plastic contamination were twice as likely to experience heart attacks, strokes, or premature death over the next 3 years compared to those without plastic contamination. The nanoplastics, despite their size, can migrate through tissues and potentially disrupt our cellular processes. The study even found measurable amounts of plastic particles, such as polyethylene and polyvinyl chloride, in the plaque tissues of those who underwent carotid endarterectomy, a surgical procedure to remove plaque from the carotid artery. Participants with plastic contamination also showed signs of increased inflammation, a condition closely linked to chronic diseases like cardiovascular disease. While the study does not establish a direct link between plastic contamination and cardiovascular disease, it certainly suggests that there's more to this story than meets the eye. So, these tiny particles, as harmless as they may seem, might be doubling our risks of heart attacks and strokes. Intriguing, isn't it? We've established that nanoplastics are potential health hazards, but how exactly did the researchers come to this conclusion? Let's break it down. Picture a group of medical researchers in their lab coats, huddled over a microscope. They're examining tissue samples from individuals who've undergone a specific surgical procedure called a carotid endarterectomy. This procedure is done to prevent strokes by removing plaque from the carotid artery. Now, within this plaque, the researchers found something unexpected: measurable amounts of plastic particles. These are no ordinary plastic particles. They're nanoplastics, the smallest form of plastic, so tiny they can migrate through tissues and potentially disrupt cellular processes. The most commonly found types in the study were polyethylene and polyvinyl chloride, everyday plastics used in packaging and construction. Now, you might be wondering, what does this mean for the people carrying these plastic particles in their arteries? Well, the study found that these individuals showed signs of increased inflammation, and inflammation, as we know, is often a precursor to chronic diseases like cardiovascular disease. The researchers found a strong correlation. Those with nanoplastics in their artery tissues were twice as likely to experience heart attacks, strokes, or premature death over the next 3 years compared to those without plastic contamination. That's a significant finding, wouldn't you agree? However, it's important to note that this study does not establish a direct cause and effect relationship between nanoplastic contamination and cardiovascular disease. Instead, it reveals an association, a connection that warrants deeper investigation. While this study doesn't establish a direct link, it's certainly a wake-up call to the potential dangers we might be facing from plastic exposure. Knowing is half the battle, but what can we do with this newfound knowledge about nanoplastics? The answer, quite simply, is to be aware and take action. This is not a call to panic, but rather an invitation to be mindful of our plastic usage and its potential impact on our health. Our awareness of the nanoplastic contamination issue is a crucial first step. It's akin to shining a light on a shadowy figure in the corner. While it may be unsettling, it also empowers us. By understanding the potential risks associated with plastic exposure, we're better equipped to make informed decisions about our lifestyle and consumption habits. And let's not forget the power of collective action. We can support and applaud the efforts being made to reduce plastic pollution and improve recycling practices. We can make a difference by choosing reusable items over single-use plastics, and by responsibly disposing of the plastics we do use. But we also need to advocate for more research. The link between nanoplastics and health concerns is still not fully understood. More studies are needed to uncover the extent of the risks and to develop effective strategies to mitigate them. Awareness is our first line of defense. Let's arm ourselves with knowledge and take the necessary steps to safeguard our health.